South Florida, Twist Gaming, featuring lead broadcaster Matt Koza, co-host and creative genius Josh Perry, co-host and interviewer extraordinaire Ann Lazito, co-host and marketing mogul Aaron Murphy, with appearances from special guest Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Hello, welcome to this game where you get to unbox stuff with me. I just got my KDM stuff in. I was going to do a quick unboxing. We'll go over some of the things. You watched some of my unboxings before. I don't show off what I consider the spoilers. I don't show off the books too much, the story events. I don't show off the monster AI and Hitler. But gear I'll look at and stuff like that. And fighting arts and things we'll look at. So I opened up the main box and we have Gatherism and then we have the remastered Wave 1 bundle. So we're going to open up Gatherism first since it's its own little box. I'm excited for a new philosophy and I heard this one's supposed to be really fleshed out. So, take a look. Box art is extremely nice. All right, so we have a standard. Yeah, I hope it's less. Yeah, that was. I was watching one of the interviews. Like they made sure because of the cost just of it standalone is. So we have a bearded stone face. Some eggcorn looking things. Second bearded stone. Some weird faces. A dead plant. So a couple new terrains. There is quite a few cards here. So there is 2 models. Get into really that much. But we have a good stack of cards. So let's take a look at what we have here. We have a rare gear and a pattern gear. This is a pattern gear. Acting Cellurit. Little melee scythe. Oh, finesse. Cool. We'll find out. Okay, so this is a weapon slash tool. Slice slash sickle. Deadly sharp. Ooh, I like this. I really like this. This is fun. Got the tool belt in our current campaigns. And this is going to be and we have the illuminated bow. So we don't have a bow in our current campaign. This is a rare gear. So I assume you get this through a roll on the rank up table. So 1/7 plus 13 strength. Abyssal. Okay, so we have the abyssal other. Irreplaceable, unique, range 7. New bow equals happy Matt. Hi Matt. Dims to repeated use at the end of your attack with this weapon. It suffers -1 strength until the end of the showdown. Use tokens to track this. Interesting. So it gets weaker every shot you do. Okay. It starts with 13 shots, so that's not like horrible. So Gatherism is I don't know if that works, Matt. Because you put the tokens on the card, it's not on your survivor, it's on the card. I don't think you can remove it. It just says use tokens to track it, not that you get a -1 strength. That's it. Gatherum is a rank 2 philosophy. So it's not early game, but it's rank 2 unlocks pretty quickly. Yeah, we'll take a look at the do I want to take a look at knowledges, or is that spoilery? I'll let chat decide as we look at some of this other stuff. New special hunt event. River Fired Grove. Enters left, you reveal a path in the darkness, flanked by greenery. Fired Grove. I think it's in the philosophy book. Yeah, it's at the back of the book. We got a whole little. You need to have a knowledge to do. A +1 if they roll. So So 1 through 4 is not bad. You get indecision and a random strange resource. Five through 8, you get +2 insanity and 2 resources. 9 through 10. What are these symbols? Okay, so they have a new symbol here. So this is like a little step. And those steps mean it's a permanent change. So for this roll here, for 9 or 10, you get +1 evasion, but suffer -1 movement. Which I don't know, movements. I don't know how good of a trade-off that is. 11 through 13, you gain 3 resources. 14 plus. Your death, you just end the event. You don't get to do it. There's some whispering you get to run to. But if you're not death, you suffer death. It's fair injury. Then you gain 1 strange resource of your choice. And the root to all ability, which is if you are standing at the end start of your act, you'll attach 2 cards of the AI deck and put them back in any order. Okay. We got a lot of strange resources here. It's 6 unique ones, but I think there's 8 or 9 total. Encher Jabulo, perfect bone, fruit, virid, perishable. Activation and a movement. Allow archive this to inflict an automatic wound against the monster within 3 spaces. You suffer damage while holding this, archive it, and suffer a random severe injury. Like a little explosive bomb. Dreamin' Baneberry, perishable. It's a fruit consumable. Consume and archive this to gain +1 hunt XP and +4 luck for your next attack this round. Live in milkweed. Herb. Perishable float at the start of your act. You may archive this to remove yourself from the showdown board. At the start of your next act, place yourself on unoccupied space on the board and activate a melee weapon with +4 strength. Okay. Little like teleport, get out of harm's way thing. Oops. Stone nailed Jericho. Don't call the Jericho too. Oh, it's just Jalabia. Herb, Irid, Perishable. Archive this during the showdown to gain 1 bleeding token and 3 deflect tokens. Okay, that's not bad. We have 3 of these. These Vim Basil, Herb Consumable, Irid. Perishable cannot be added. Settlement storage at the end of the settlement phase. Archive this. Perishable. Consume and archive this to gain +2 survival. So it's a crab shooter in the plant form that you can't bank. And then Wailing Rattlegrass. Herb. Perishable. When a monster would perform a reaction, you may archive this to cancel the reaction. Have all non-death survivors suffer monster level branding. Not that bad either. Pattern for Full Scythe. 2 perfect bone, 2 bone, 2 organ, 2 iron, 2 leather, 2 perfect bone. That's expensive. First up, we have the Bloody Beard Plant. Obstacle impassable, used in place of Giant Stone Face. Move on to any space occupied by the Blood Beard Plant. You are obstructed by its creating growth. Gain +2 evasion while atop the Beard Plant. Ranged weapons gain +2 range and +2 accuracy while atop the. I showed it off earlier, Matt. It is really fucking cool scythe. Survivors on top of the Bloody Beard Plant move normally on it and ignore obstacles when drawn line of sight. Monsters always draw line of sight to them. So it's like Stone Face and Tall Grass combined. That is the weapon. The weapon tool melee: Sickle, Scythe, Bone, Finesse, 264, Deadly Sharp. The monster has a persistent injury in play. This gains devastating 1. It's a fucking great fucking weapon, especially with the tool belt. It's good. So there's 2 of those cards. Incest, Pinnacle Fruit. Survivors that attack the monster while on this terrain are always considered to be in the monster's blind spot. If you ever end your act on this terrain, you inhale deeply, roll d10. 1 through 2 loses survival. 3 through 10 visions reveal the top card of the monster's AI deck. You may discard it. 11 plus Bliss Tremors gain plus monster level insanity and +1 permanent accuracy once per showdown. Sometimes I gotta give you plus to these rolls. Like the minus survival kind of sucks, but it's not horrible. The Mush Lithos Plant. Activation bounce, archive this and roll d10. 1 through 2. You become stinky for the rest of the lantern year. 3 through 14. Move all your bleeding tokens and gain +1 survival for each token removed this way. Okay. 15 plus +1 permanent movement. Okay. Oily pinky flowers. Obstacle impossible. Destructible. When you collide with this, some oil slicks onto you, gain +1 evasion token. Oh, okay. And we could harvest it. 1 through 6, you're knocked down. 7 through 16. Get monster level insanity, 17 plus, you consume it. And you gain +1 permanent. So all cool. I'll look at the rule book here for a minute and see how you do this. So it doesn't say you can add this with the campaign. We might anyway. Plant-related terrain and events. Gathering rules interact with plant-related aspects of Kingdom Death. Play group should come to a narrative conclusion on what existing terrain and hunt events qualify as plant-related. So gather some neurosis is inquisitive. Excessive curiosity. When survivors are prompted to investigate during the hunt, you must do so. Multiple gatherers roll off if necessary. While you are on or adjacent to terrain during the showdown, you cannot spend survival. Tenant is invasive. What is invasive? During the showdown, set up if the terrain and deployment section instructs you to set up any random terrain cards. Replace one with a gatherism, your choice, from the terrain deck. And replace terrain as up levels up. Second level is you just get to always add a gathering if it doesn't have that. And then invasive 3 is you get to set up any plant related terrain. And at the start of the activation, you always get an activation that can only be spent to activate terrain. So I would say the mammoth lilies are right. That would work. You have the Botanical Tracker, which just basically gives you the Viral Grove an event. Zoologist, you may add +2 to your roll results for a plant-related hunt event, herb gathering, or vivid grove event once per lantern year. Levels up at +3. Roll result is 10 plus. +3. And it's not once per year. You can do it as much as you want. 3 is add your understanding to your roll result to all plant-related hunt events. Rain, herb gathering. Okay, that's nice. And you have Flora Fancia. You are tuned with the voices of the world. Monster is on or adjacent to terrain. You may dodge hits from it as many times as you'd like each round. Outspend in survival. That's really fucking cool. Yeah, but you only get 6 dodges with it, but like, and then allocate. You may depart with 1 resource card. Resource is perishable. It is not destroyed. This is basically a statue form. Start of any hunt turn before hunt events are revealed. You may sow a resource. Archive it to gain monster level survival. So that's all the knowledge is. Get some of the art in the book. Okay. It is, but it's creepy. It looks like every time you rank up at the beginning, you add one of your terrain cards to the deck. I do like the symbol to show that what is a permanent movement or upgrade. That can be confusing. All right, so that's gather them. That's pretty much everything. It's got some new terrain, two really interesting weapons. Yeah, what plate? All right, so let's go to the side. Take a look at the big box. Cardboard. Um, take a quick at the Wanderers first. All right, let's look at Candy and Cola. Miniature. Have some driver sheets in here that already have Phantom Friend on here. And there's only a couple in here, but they're folded. So they fit in the box. Okay. Curious though. They're not exactly like luck. Yeah, Candy Cold campaign. Add Wanderer Candy and Cold, landing your 2 on the timeline. Candy's Arc Survivor Wanderer. When Candy joins your settlement, fill out the Arc Survivor record sheet. 3 survival, 6 movement, 1 luck, 2 courage, 1 understanding, 1 lumi, 1 torment, 1 suspect pressure. They have veterans, so they get +1 hunt XP. They have the aftermath. Candy Pop. When you archive a resource of Phantom Friend, gain a random unique soda gear and +1 permanent affinity of your choice. Cola is a Phantom Friend. Candy starts with a Phantom Friend fighting art. She does not need to trigger Vaultless to have it. Can't lose it for any reason. There's 1 fighting art available to her. There's a copy of Phantom Friend in this, in case you don't have it already, from Flower Knight, I believe. Candy begins with the Gladiator Grab and Sharpened Heelwear gear. Locks more gears goes. Let's look at the gear she starts. Phantom Friend. All right, it's the same thing as before. Sharpened heel. Gator Garb. Okay. So it's a 373. Weapon, melee, dagger, metal, savage. You're making a wound attempt to roll. Wound attempt roll with this. You may gain a bleeding token to increase your roll result by 2. Do it once per round. Okay, so plus 2 strength if you want. Or bleed. And you may gain a bleeding token to ignore hit limit. Okay, so playing bleeds a bit. Okay. So anyone at Adam or anyone's watching gave me the sheet. Got the Phantom Friend fighting on it. Why isn't her fucking philosophy on here? And the age milestones. I know you technically don't unlock it to year 2, but like, there's no reason for it to just personal rant. Um, little introduction story here. Ever, ever Vincent's compound grief is the neurosis. On arrival, Candy gains a random disorder. If all her disorder slots are already filled, she instead gains +1 systemic pressure and suffers -1 heart. Heart is the like health thing the wanderers use. Someone likes ranks up pretty quickly in the first 2 ranks, and then last ranks screwed. There. Finishers. Photo for everyone now. It's as an interesting mechanic of one of her knowledges of what happens when it gets to the final 8. What else do we got here? So we got a fighting art called Reframe. This is if you don't have you're not doing Ark Survivor campaign, he gets this. During your act, you may spend 2 survival to remove one of your disorders. Limit once. You have a new innovation called Soda Fountain. Other people can use here. Dies, you lose it. And depending on how many hearts you have, and the very toxic rare gear, and a random unique. 3 of these in here. Item consumable fragile soluble soda terrain. During your act, you may consume and archive this to gain +3 insanity and a random disorder. Then candy gains +1 heart. Who is not the survivor who consumes. Take a look at some of the other gear. Item consumable fragile soda trinket unique. Red and blue infinity. During your act, you may consume and archive this to remove 3 bleeding tokens. Erase all permanent injuries you suffered this showdown. Okay. Got the trinket keyword, which is so trinket gear you can carry outside your gear grid. Okay. Mr. 9 brew. The trinket, red and green affinity. During your act, you may consume and archive the game -1 movement token and the priority target token. Situational. Emerald Dewdrop. 2 green affinities. During your act, you may consume and archive this to roll 10 d10s. For each lantern 10 rolled, gain +1 speed token. Okay. Monstrous Fizz. 1 of each affinity. During your act, you may consume and archive this to gain additional movement activations. Ruby Cola. 2 reds. During your act, you may consume and archive this to increase all your attack rolls, lunar temper rolls, results by 2 until the end of this round. The end of the round. Okay. They're minor little upgrades. Then Sapphire Syrup, which is 2 blue affinities. During your act, you may consume and archive this to gain 3 reroll tokens that are archived at the end of your act. So they're like a 1 act kind of booster. And then she gets the reframe knowledge. So when she gains the disorder, she gets a check mark, and it's just a theory. It'll be easy to level up. Rank 2, during your act, you may spend 2 survival to remove 1 of your disorders. Limit once per round. Remove a disorder, gain a check mark. Okay. During your act, you may remove 1 of your disorders to gain +2 survival. Limit 1. Ooh, that's fun. Get rid of your disorders. And that's kind of cool. That's pretty much all there was to it. So she comes early. Nice. Be right back, guys. I'm just grabbing some water. Get that hydration. Oh, all right. Next up, we got Goth. Goth just has blank sheets in here. You can put their name on the sheet too. I mean, you're naming them the Wanderer name. Give them a different name. Take a look at the book. Here comes at year 4. Cards with -1 evasion, +1 speed, 1 courage, 2 lumi, 1 torment. There's different courage and understanding milestones. So when she gets 3 courage, she gets +1 permanent speed. 3 understanding, she -1 disposition. The little hearts. Maximum courage, gain +1 strength, and maximum understanding. Goth Fallout story. There's the common katana and rapture bracelet. Katana metal 2/4. Silent weapon. When you attack with this, cancel all react failures during your attack. You have no noisy gear in your grid. Card was poorly cut. Do that or not? Rapture bracelet, jewelry, item, jewelry, bone, other, 1 head armor, accessory, selfish. The end of your attack with a melee weapon, if you're standing, make another attack with the same melee weapon. It gains slow for this attack, limit once per round. Okay. Production story. Backed by something. Water? It's disintegration, which nurses rotter. When you depart, set your armor points at each location to 0 after factoring all bonuses. When you are returning, however, you devour another, suffer -1 population. Settlement does not gain benefits of their death principles. Eats up people. Starts with adrenaline. So they have a fighting art version of adrenaline if not survivors. Serve act, you may gain a movement, may gain activation. Otherwise, you get adrenaline 1. At the start of your act, you may gain a movement. Must be used for multiple showdown. Win the monster, get a check mark. Different colors. First one's like blue, and the second one's yellow. The last one's orange. +1 systematic pressure. At the start of your act, you may gain movement or gain an activation. Showdown, when you win the monster, take this. It's got 12 check marks. Okay. So they did something here. They give you extra check marks in the tenant knowledge. Then put the name. Don't. I don't understand. But basically, someone else picks this up. Not enough checkboxes on the sheet. Um, I don't know why they did that. Okay. And then third level. Adrenaline. Have a 3 on it? It does. It's super hard to see though because the red on black is. Oh no, sorry. Adrenaline 3. Oh, it's got even more checkboxes here. Got orange here. Once you set start to react, you may. I don't. Limit once per showdown per option. Okay. That makes more sense. Moon Monster game. 24 check marks there. I Oh, and it goes to adrenaline 4. Gives you one more option, which is gain either a +1 shred token, a +1 speed token, or add 3 armor to all hit locations. Not a bad knowledge besides the million check things. And then we have 2 innovations. Goth Concealer, +1 survival limit. And then you get plus strength tokens to that foreign survivors with no head armor. Now we have Goth's Grave, so spoilers, Goth dies, I guess. Oh, so this just kills people. Not not good. Book. Interesting. Okay. That is Goth. Let's go on to the next one. Aeneas. Aeneas. Hi. Probably pronounce this name Aura. This was the. I don't remember the name. All right. Manager. Come on. Interesting. We got like a new little card thing. During the aftermath, you may consume and archive 1d5 resources. If you do, you become content. Flip this tile. Hungry. +1 movement, +1 speed. You must depart this lantern. Any react lose 1 survival unless you attack this round. First time you wound a quarry monster this lantern, you gain 1 random monster resource from the monster. Okay. Over to content. In the aftermath, you may consume and archive 1d4 5 resources. If you do not, you hungry. Flip this tile. Intent +5 strength, +1 luck. If you're a returning survivor, +1 heart. First time you wound a monster, this lantern, you gain +1 weapon proficiency level if wounded with your chosen weapon type. Little special things in the back. Got here. Comes in lantern year 7. Five movement, 1 action, 2 strength, 2 evasion, 1 courage, 1 lumi, 1 torment. You drew that, by the way? That's very cool. Alright. It's a Moonwolf Charmer here. Item jewelry, other selfish, irreplaceable during the aftermath before rewards. Reveal the top 3 cards of the monster resource deck. Gain 1 and shuffle the rest back into the deck. If the monster has no monster resource deck, gain +1. Farm the whole resource deck before you get rewards is out it. But I guess if it's a nemesis, it's for like a nemesis. Nemesis. Has some interaction with the White Lion, Screaming Antelope, and Phoenix, it looks like. A lot of. Yeah, it is making that one pesky thing earlier easy, better. We got our introduction. Starts with consumption. Neurosis is craven. If hungry, she consumes an archive 1 consumer resource or gear in the settlement, including settlement storage at the start of the develop step of the settlement phase. And tenant is dubious fare. So, like the other ones, we have a secret fighting art. That's just a regular fighting art. Okay. You may consume a monster resource from a node 1, 2, or 3 quarry monster. Archive it and roll d10. The resource is Indomitable. Add +3 to the results. Gain +2 survival, +2 standing, +1 permanent strength, and gain +1 permanent luck. Okay. Look at the knowledges. Another copy of Indomitable, because never have enough of those. Dubious fare. You may consume a monster's resource from a node 1 quarry monster, archive it, and roll d10. There's not a +3 result. 1 through 8 gain 2 survival, 2 sanity, 9 through 11 +1 permanent strength. 12 plus the gain the monster's secret fighting art. When you consume to use this, update this. So there was a note in there that the secret fighting art for the White Lion is what it's called. Zero Presence and Kings of a Thousand Battles is the Phoenix. I guess there's one for Screaming Antelope. Level 2. There is? Okay. Doesn't mark it in the thing. Um, 2, you may consume a monster resource from node 1 or 2 quarry monsters. Node 1 quarry monster, node 1 or 2 quarry monsters. Oh, node 1 or 2 quarry monsters. Reading is same thing. When you consume a dollar resource to use this, gain +1. You may consume from a node 1, 2, or 3 quarry monster, archive it, roll d10. Resource stall at +3, at +1 courage, +2 survival, strength, 10 plus gain the monster's secret partner. Easier to get the secret partners. Okay. Oh, yep, you're correct. So we got some new Indomitable resources. We got the Gleaming Lizard for the Phoenix. Archive this roll d10 on a 1 or 2 die on a 3+ gain. Do once per lifetime reroll. Okay. Got a Prime Stick for the Screaming Antelope. Okay, so this could be used in cooking. Okay. Cat tongue. Give there something sharp till the end of the year. That's okay. We look, we have a fighting art for the antelope. Browsing whale. Activation all hearing knockdown survivors. Why? You write all non-death survivors on everything else. All hearing knockdown survivors. Standing gain monster level insanity. If you are adjacent to the monster, it gains a flinch token. Around flinch tokens, when a monster with a flinch token attempts to perform a reaction, cancel reaction, discard the token. That's cool. Then Moonwolf style for at. When you wound attempt on a hit location succeeds, you may ignore it and attempt to wound. Select the hit location again with +2 luck limit once per attack. That's kind of cool. Then we have Bowling Cuisine. Certain survivors may eat the weak. Limit once per settlement phase. Eat the weak. The settlement calls a survivor. -1 population. 19-year departing survivors gain the benefits corresponding to the traits of the survivor that was killed. No hunt XP. Ah. Interesting. Okay. I'm trying to think if I saw references of death in some other places though, so I'm just KDM's not always uniformed in everything they do. If they have 0 hunt XP, you get +1 strength token. They're retired, you get +1 strength token, +1 luck token. They have 4+ permanent injuries, +1 survivor token. The departing survivor with the highest strength attribute gains the Moon Wolf style. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at the rest of the artwork here. All the eating. One last wanderer. I don't think we're going to add any of the wanderers to the current campaign. That'll be for next campaign. The last up is Death Drifter. It's a black box. I want to check the other ones here. All right, so this one, and they might have done on the other ones that had something special. They show yeah, they don't stay around as long as you play them. We had where we are in our current campaign, they are not strong enough to keep up with the rest of the server at the moment. We're at like almost year 20. Um, maybe we'll look at it. We'll see. But they have the upgraded courage and understanding milestones in here, which is nice. But they don't have the other stuff on here. So, you know. Because when we got luck in our campaign, I think we took out like luck once or twice, and that was it. We didn't really care. All right. Death Drifter, the Wanderer. What we got here? Start with +1 accuracy, evasion, for Lumi, pressure. The courage to get +2 strength. 3 understand they get +2 evasion. Maximum courage, they gain the heavy spine strike ability. Start act, you may spend 6 survival to give one of your melee weapons in your gear grid cumbersome and devastate one until the end of the attack. The maximum understanding, they get an extra knowledge. Lone Drifter, you may dash 1 additional time per round. Cannot perform any survival action except for dash. The start of your act in survival up to the survival limit. Okay. Starts with the Death Drifter Cloak. Irreplaceable item, cloth, other. After you roll d10, as part of Death Drifter knowledge, you may change the roll result to a lantern 10, limit once. Okay. Got a lot of art in this one, so we got Death Drifter here, and then like this like little art here, and there's unreadable text at the top. It is hyperlight. Neurosis is afflicted. The symptoms return the moment you stop moving. At the end of your act, if you did not dash this round, you're knocked down and gain a bleeding token. Tenet is Chain Dash. So here's Chain Dash, the fighting art. All the other ones. After perform dash roll d10 on 5 plus, you may immediately perform another dash, ignoring round limits. On 10 plus, you may perform this dash without spending survival. You can just like fly across the board. We have a strain here. Perform dash A plus times in a single round. Violet Drifter Cloak. Strain, item, cloth, feather, flammable, other, irreplaceable. Increase your personal survival limit. Double the settlement survival limit. Okay. That's the thing. All right, and Chain Dash is the Tenet knowledge. Theory, when you dash, gain +1. You get max survival every act though, so you have all the survival. After performing dash roll d10 on a 5 plus, you may immediately perform another dash, ignoring round limits. 10 plus, you may perform this dash without survival. Earn survival, gain one of the 3. So, dashing thrust. If you're standing adjacent to the monster, after performing dash, you may spend 1 survival to make an automatic hit and attempt to wound with a melee weapon. You wound the monster this way, it suffers knockback 2 and an additional wound, limit once per round. Nice. Guarding Rush, +1 movement. When you dash, gain a deflect token until the end of the round. Limit 3 times per round. Phasing Strike. When you dash to move, you may move through, but not end on spaces the monster occupies. After moving through a monster, roll d10 on a 9 plus, the monster suffers a wound. These seem like fun. We have 2 other cure cards. The Sever and Twilight. A bit melee, 2-handed Lantern Order. Oh, Lantern Gamma Order? Yeah, Order. Gamma there. Other. 267, irreplaceable deadly. When you wound with this, place a prep token on a weapon your gear grid with load. Twilight Knives. 167, weapon range dagger, finesse order other. Irreplaceable sentient load range 6. Your red and blue affinity, spend activation, suffer 2d10 brain damage. Your next attack with this weapon gains deadly 7, limit once per showdown. What year did we say this comes on? It comes in 6. Take that part. He's got a lot more art in this book, and his stories are much simpler. I like this. I like the style of it. I like the movement thing. I think it could be. I think some fun builds could be made around him to do some stupid stuff. Have hit all of the wanderers. Up is Pariah. Interesting artwork on the back. I don't know how well you guys see that. Way too close. Okay. All the minis. We have a rule book. I really do like the gold they put on the rule books now. And the like cardboard or more cardboardy artwork. Node 1. This is the Butcher. It would also be the same spot as the Black Knight. Right? No, Manhunter. This is the Black Knight. No, 3. Yep, yep. So he has a big effect on the campaign. I don't actually like say you should really add him later in because he won't be played as well. Can't add him to People of the Stars. People of the Sun, he would come up in Lantern Year 22, and you don't add Fiend to the timeline. Attic Empathy creates parasite emotional bonds with the survivors of your settlement. Pain suffered by the monster is felt by its victims. What else was wounded? Remember when the monster data cards are revealed, suffer that revealed them suffer the effects of empathy on these cards. Somatic static service status card. Hard showdown. Scramble to survive when you get knocked down, because the only way down get knocked down is falling off the ceiling. Inverted reaction hit locations. Hit location cards are have a top and bottom. Pariah is introduced instead of posing an impossible menace like other Nemesis monsters, takes up residence in the settlement. It drains their resources and patience. The monster skulls around in the settlement until the survivors defeat the level 2 Pariah or Lantern Year 21 arrives. Settlement event looks like it adds. Do special innovation. Rook. 1-2. When a survivor with 1-2 dies, they split into 2 survivors. Not gain the benefit of your death principle. The player controlling the dead survivor controls the new survivors. Split their characteristics to survivor 1. Survivor 2 gains only what is listed, even if the dead survivor has more characteristics. Only the fallen is split. Nothing else is transmitted. Survival 1 gets the survival, accuracy, luck, courage, first and third fighting arts, second disorder. The second one gets the insanity, evasion, speed, understand, second fighting art, first and third disorder. And then you split their gear pattern, and there's an extra gear grid. You technically have 5 survivors. Just a creeper in the settlement. Look at that. And being a creep. So level 1 has 13 health, 7 movement, 10 toughness. Level 2 has 17 health, 8 movement, 13 toughness, plus 1 speed, plus 1 damage. And then level 3 is the inverted, which has 19 health, 8 movement, 17 toughness, plus 2 speed, plus 2 strength. This creepy ass picture. the back art picture was. A little bit of a glossary in the back. Please. Okay. Take a look at the stuff in the box. We have these creepy stone faces with nose rings. Have 2 settlement events. Tolkien games. Probably just makes me think of some anime. I don't know what it is though. Monster Knowledge. Feedback loop. First time you gain a token, each Lanternere gain a copy of that token. Gain a token with this. You gain a token, you may gain a copy of the token limit once per Lanternere. 3 times. Game have an anime references. Feedback loop 3. When you are another survivor, gain a token. You may gain a copy of that token per Lanternere. Just something how he's drawn, like I don't know, like the long limbs or something make me think the Lupin. I don't know, just something is evoking something in my head. I just don't know what it is. And then CC card for it. Couple gear. We have scab gear. We have the bow scab, which is a 275 weapon range bow, 2-handed, noisy, soluble. Can't take this against a frog dog. Lose it. Cumbersome, range 5. At the end of your attack, if you wound the monster, roll d10. On a 1, gain 3 bleeding tokens and archive this. Okay. Seems awful. Yeah, it's noisy too. Like it's not good. Yeah, I don't know why you want it. Halberd Scar, 244, weapon melee, spear, 2-handed, soluble, reach 2, bloodthirsty, -2 movement after attacking. If standing, you may move up to 2 spaces. Bloodthirst. Back of this book. Your special rule: when you activate this gear, gain a bleed token. Gain a bleed every time you activate it. Oh, next card says it. Knife scab, 382, weapon melee dagger, fist and tooth, soluble. Oh, those fist and tooth dagger, which is nice. Deadly bloodthirsty when you deadly when you activate this skin. Bleeding token. Maul scab. Bloody Thunder Maul. 266, weapon melee club, 2-handed, soluble. On a perfect hit, place a token on this gear. If it is the 3rd token, you gain 3 bleeding tokens. Monsters knocked down and archive them. Scab sword. Slow, cumbersome, devastating 2. When you would wound with this, the force of the blow shatters the blade. Gain 3 bleeding tokens and archive. I hope these are easy to make. They're all patterns. I'm not going to go into detail on the monster, super monster specific cards, but I'll show some of them. Those. We have Pariah right now. So looking at those weapons, it's you spend an organ and 2 people. It's kind of good. Got some new secret fighting arts. Roger Depth. Use all your limbs as needed. You may use activation as movement and vice versa. Natural reflexes sharpen. You cannot be knocked down. Nice. Sacred code. Once per showdown during your act, you may recite the code. Everyone and everything else trembles and collapses into a heap. All other survivors and monsters are knocked down. Okay. With the Piton, which is the new terrain, it's impassable. Iron Ring separates you from a permanent demise. Activation, you swing from your current anchor pointed to another. Place your survivor adjacent to another piston within 5 spaces of you. With a pickaxe, you may spend a movement activation to extract the ring from the ceiling. Archive this terrain and gain +1 iron. By arts, free climber, your fist and tooth gains refined, and the climbing keyword. You fail to wound, you may re-roll the wound attempt, limit once per attack. Version. When you gain an attribute token, you may flip it to its opposite side, limit once per lantern. Cool. Unit disorders. Anhedonia. You have lost your curiosity. You are always saying you cannot gain fighting arts, secret fighting arts, or abilities. That sucks. And codependent. Guided by the truth of another. You cannot gain understanding except the Pariah cards, events, Robux, etc. 2 new innovations. Implanted memories. Like the sentiments feel foreign yet ring true when their deeper meanings emerge. Foreign survivors gain +1 understanding. Survivor triggers white secret. Replace it with dark secret. Precious fragments. Charged basin filled with spoils of war. The limit would trigger white speaker. The monster springs from the darkness, eviscerating the outsider. Replace it with the white speaker's dead. Dead secret. I didn't really look at the story events. I'm just curious if dark secret. Dark secret doesn't look great. Oh, not for it. I'll show this off because it's basic, but he targets female survivors first. Card has that. I'm just gonna show like one of the cards. Um, so the sympathetic empathy. When you do a wound, whoever does the wound draws the AI card. They're discarded, and they read this, and this is what they get. Get the joyless impairment. Um, not not good things. And then the other cool thing he has is so during level 1, 2, you use this, but level 3, use the underside. I think it's only if the underside thing is there. Only a handful of cards do that. Already trait, Grotto, which is fall into if you die. Empathy. You get these automatic status cards. After you reveal AI card, you may choose to remove a token from this. There's ways to get tokens on that. Okay. And that's all I'm going to show off for the Pariah. Otherwise, we get too spoilery. All right, we're on the last box. Just Red Witches. It's red. So I feel like he should have done red on red, like he does in the boxes. It's new stuff or stuff that's it's all part of the Kickstarter. Um, I feel like he should have done red on red, like he does the black on black. Just the gloss red. Is it white or silver? It's got like a whitish silver. Lots of minis. Aw. Boots. I thought he would stick to the theme. I did the black and gold. It's fine. All right, let's take a look here. There are no 2 Nemesis monster. He is very far behind. No 2 monsters. Then your 9 challenge at the gates. Again, they say this kind of not great to add it later. So we'll have to see what we want to do. They replace Atlas and people Dreamkeeper. People the Sun. You add deficit counters on 21 and 23. And then for people with stars, it says remove the nemesis counters from like year 13, 16, 23. Add this. Add in a no 3 nemesis monster expansion in addition to the Red Witches. May increase the difficulty of the campaign. Doing it. So each fight is slightly different. So the first time you fight them, you just fight Brawl. The second one's Brawl and Nico, and the third one's Brawl, Nico, and Seer. A little bit of a misprint there. There's minions. Asmer Mines. Ooh. Keep the Grand Library. And with the golden back. That's the what you call big booby monster. Princess and the Dragon. Red Cannon. Firing this arrow at this fucking. Event looks nasty. A lot of interactions with the Pariah expansion, I can see. And they did a some Ethan Mini sweaters in the back. Bit of more artwork. All right. Look at the cards. They did do something cool with this box. Each them has their own little mini box. Or green. A lot of gear. I'm just gonna kind of show off some of the interesting things. Ration Skin Scoop item resin. First, -10 evasion. You do not gain melee tokens from Red Cloak. Great fitting rolled down on a 3+, you bounce back up. Oh, so we have an official speaker cult knife. So don't need the white promo box for it. I think it's the exact same card. We have the Worn Battling Bow, which is 2/6/11 weapon melee ranged bow guitar. Two-handed cult weapon. Irreplaceable unique range 2. When you would wound with this, if it is the first time the monster has been wounded this round, inflict 1 additional wound. Badass. Got a lot of different bows. We have the Worn Seeking Bow, which is 154. Range 8. It was only range 2, which is kind of not as great, but whatever. 3 blue affinities. Another survivor wounds the monster. This weapon gains Savage and Deadly 3 until the end of the round. The Worn Scarfing Bow, which is 3/7/8. The Bow Dagger, range 4. 2 green affinities and a red. When you hit with this, you may draw hit locations from the top of the hit location discard pile instead of deck. That's fucking fantastic. Fucking great. Love that. We have an armor set. So the black and red cuirass. At the end of your act, gain a -1 action token if you do not already have one. When you are hit, archive a -1 action token to ignore the hit. So kind of like your deflect with minus accuracy. Boots, Greaves, and increase all knockback you suffer by 4. And then if you have 3 green affinities, you have +2 evasion while you have 5 or more resin gear. All the armor is resin, so having a full set would. All right, we have the Hyper Elastic Bow. 2/7/5. Aim cumbersome range 2. Increase the range of this by your permanent strength up to a maximum of range 10. For some of the current survivors to be fucking badass. Hyperelastic Shield. 186, block 1. The first time you block a hit with this each showdown. Never not before, ignore all remaining unresolved hits. Hyperelastic Sword, when 265. Wound. When you fail to wound a hit location with this, after performing any reactions, run a hit location limit or a hack. Possible good thing. We have the red cloak, which we actually have 4 of, so everyone in the party can wear this. And you can have gear for it. Accessory Selfish. At the start of your act, gain a bleed token. After a hunt phase setup, place the red incursion event on any hunt space. No idea what that is. Have the cuisine card and the joint array Red Witch's knowledge card. Nominate 3 survivors to gain it, then shuffle into the knowledge deck. Level 1. Theory. Another survivor with joint array wounds the monster, you gain +1. And I want everyone in the party to have this. 2. When you attack, if another survivor with joint array has already inflicted a wound this round, cancel reactions on your first selected hit location. When a survivor uses joint array to cancel reaction, gain +. 3. At the start of the survivor's turn, choose one effect to apply until the end of the round. When you attack, if no other survivors have inflicted a wound this round, gain +4 strength until the end of the attack. When you attack, if another survivor with joint array has already inflicted a wound this round, cancel reactions on your first selected hit. Interesting. Cool thing. Ooh, that's cool. Is there anything in these boxes? I know. Ooh, the boxes have these like a little card trays in them. But they're empty. Pictures of the witches on the back of it. The bottom of these AI cards, they have a little bit of color of which top of the. What says their name at the top? Mm-hmm. Turn order cards. And They have the life trait. Armor set bonus. Do not gain bleeding tokens from Red Cloak. You gain the transpose survival action. Opportunity permits spend 2 survival to swap spaces with a survivor wearing a red cloak, limit once per round. And there was some part of the gear I didn't show all of it out that gave bonuses on transpose. Transpose. An event version. Let's look at what else we got. Two new strange resources. The black resin. Red thread. Got 3 new disorders. Battle drunk. Passion overtakes vision. The first time you wound the monster, each round gain +1 strength and -1 accuracy token. Knockdown archive, all your strength and accuracy token. Cowardice. When it counts, you flinch. Ignore your positive evasion attribute. That's poop. Hyper Algirsa. The pain is extreme when you suffer damage, lose 1 survival, limit 1. You're the Transcendent Masochist Secret Fire, which is a part of Ridiculous, I think. Or of another expansion. Gain bleed token, gain +1 survival insanity, ignore the effects of arachnophobia and aesthetic disorder. Then each White Witch has a story secret fire art card. So, Wraith of Saker, when another survivor dies during the showdown, your attack gains sharp for the rest of the showdown. While you're only survivor on the showdown board, gain an activation at the start of your act. Okay. Story of the Forged. You suffer a random severe injury, gain the following based on its hit location. Head's evasion, +1 speed for the hand, body is strength, waist is luck, legs is. Story of the Library. Eat history. During the settlement phase, you may return a consequence innovation to the innovation deck to gain the benefits of age 2. Your once per lifetime restriction. If you return records, gain the benefit of age 4 instead. Consequence innovation is consequence. Another innovation. I don't quite know what that. Another secret fire art called Vault Key cannot be removed. This cannot be removed for any reason. Gain 3 additional secret fire art slots. When you gain understanding, a wave of physical agony accomplishes comprehension. Suffer that much damage to each hit location. That is the picture. Then we have 2 innovations. We have blood weaving. Oh, so you could have it so you can need an electric blade, and then I believe this is how you make gear. Trick transport. This one's survival element. When a survivor departs, set aside an additional gear grid that has a full red and black armor set. When you perform transpose, you may swap with an ally waiting at home. Nominate a survivor in the settlement. Use the set aside gear grid. They depart with it taking your place in the showdown board. You return to the settlement. Limit once per landing area. That's cool. So you can like trade places with your another survivor with their own gear grid. I think that's everything. I'm not going to go over the cards or the story events. So thanks everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. We'll have it up on YouTube soon. Otherwise, join us Tuesday for more KDM, where we are. I don't know what we're hunting. But we finally finished our Nemesis fights. It'll be fun. We're like around last year, 19 or 20, I think. I'll have to figure out how we want to do the new stuff. We're gonna wait till campaign's over. We still have like another 10-ish sessions, if not more. So it'll be interesting. But, thanks everyone for watching. Have a good one. Bye.